Well, hi, all my friends out there. We are going to continue reading in First Samuel, chapter 11. I just want to say briefly here with what's going on with Obama and Kerry and Israel. They're trying to push the two-state solution, and God says that that Israel shall not be divided. And you've got scholars and people out there saying, well, it's not really the Israelites, they're, Jews, it's Zionism, it's this, that, and the other. And frankly, God gave them much more land than they have now in the beginning. Whether they made some agreement back in 67 or 50 years ago, I don't really care. God gave them their land. We've already, talked about it pretty much. We're talking about it now, where, God said they go clear out that land, and that's to be their land, okay? And and as we go along, we'll see more of how that, plays out. So I don't think that, first of all, it was a miracle that they came back in 1947 to begin with, okay, after the Holocaust. And then you have people arguing on this other side too that just whacked out saying that it never happened. Give me a break. Our own military saw it for their own eyes, our own people that went to war, our grandfathers, and our fathers. Okay, so for them to say that it didn't happen is just ridiculous. So the liberal side will try to do anything to further their own agenda. And for Obama to do what he did is just a slap in the face to Israel. If I was him, I'd watch my six, when it comes to the Lord, okay? So, Lord will take care of it, and he'll put his judgments on it for sure. I think Netanyahu should just, I don't think they should say anything or do anything until Trump is president, and I don't care what Kerry says or Obama. They're out. So, frankly, I think that in this day and age, there's no reason for them, once a president is elected, maybe given some time to get his cabinet together, but, waiting until January 20th, I don't think there's really a reason for it. I think he could have started right away. But I don't know. I'm not privy to all the stuff that has to go on. Anyway, okay, so let's get into chapter 11. Nahash offers them of Jabesh-gilead a reproachful condition. They send to Saul and are delivered, and Saul is confirmed king, okay? The other thing I want to mention before I get on with this reading is also definitely pray before you listen to God's word. And Tony on God Rules, has a very interesting thing that he's been keeping watch on with Obama. Now, adding into his latest executive order, the quelling of freedom of speech. So I don't know how long I'll be able to have this YouTube channel and say whatever, comes into my own mind freely. Unless those things are, overturned somehow. So take a look at his channel, if you will, and his latest, video on Obama's over our Christmas holiday decided to put this through. Well, everybody wasn't looking, okay? Supposedly, but we are keeping watch, so we know what he's trying to do. All right. Then Nahash the Ammonite, came up and encamped against Jabesh-gilead, and all the men of Jabesh said unto Nahash, Make a covenant with us, and we will serve thee. And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, On this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust you out all your right eyes, and lay it for a reproach upon Israel. And the elders of Jabesh said unto him, Give us 7 days' respite, that we may send messengers unto all the coast of Israel, and then if there be no man to save us, we will come out to thee. Then came the messengers to Gibeah of Saul, and told the tidings in the ears of the people, and all the people lifted up their voices and wept. And behold, Saul came after the herd out of the field, and Saul said, What aileth the people that they weep? And they told him the tidings of the men of Jabesh. And the Spirit of God came upon Saul when he heard these tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly. And he took a yoke of oxen and hewed them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the coast of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying that whosoever cometh not forth after Saul and after Samuel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of the Lord fell upon the people, and they came out with one consent. So they were all in unity with each other. And when he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. And then he said unto the messengers that came, Thus shall ye say unto the men of Jabesh-gilead, Tomorrow by that time the sun be hot, the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came and showed it to the men of Jabesh, and they were glad. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, Tomorrow we shall come out unto you, and you shall do with us all that seemeth good unto you. And it was so that on the morrow Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came to the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites until the heat of day. And it came to pass that when they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left together, the people said unto Samuel, Who is he that said, Shall Saul reign over us? Bring them in, that we may put them to death. And Saul said, There shall not a man be put to death this day, for today the Lord hath wrought salvation in Israel. And then said Samuel to the people, Come and let us go to Gilgal and renew the kingdom there. And the people went to Gilgal, and they made Saul king before the Lord in Gilgal, and they sacrificed sacrifices of peace offerings before the Lord, and there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. Chapter 12. Samuel testifies his integrity. He reproves the people for ingratitude. He terrifies them with thunder in harvest time, but comforts them in God's mercy if they shall fear the Lord. And Samuel said unto all Israel, Behold, I have hearkened unto your voice in all that you said to me, and have made a king over you. Now, behold, the king walketh before you, and I am old and gray-headed, and behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood until this day. Behold, here I am, witness against me before the Lord and before the anointed. Whose ox have I taken, or whose asses have I taken, or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed, and of whose hand have I received any bribe to blind my eyes therewith, and I will restore it to you. And they said, Thou hast not defrauded us, not oppressed, or neither taken of any man's hand. And then he said unto them, The Lord is a witness against you, and his anointed is a witness this day, that you have not found aught in my hand. And they answered, He is a witness. And Samuel said unto the people, Is it the Lord that advances Moses and Aaron, that brought your fathers up out of the land of Egypt? Now therefore stand still, that I may reason with you before the Lord, for all the righteous acts of the Lord, which he did to you and your fathers. When Jacob had come into Egypt, and your fathers cried unto the Lord, then the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, which brought forth your fathers out of Egypt, and made them dwell in this place. And when they forgot that the Lord their God, he sold them into the hands of Sisera, and the captain of the host of Hazor, and into the hand of the Philistines, and into the hands of the king of Moab, and fought against them. They cried unto the Lord and said, We've sinned because we have forsaken the Lord, and have served Balaam and Asheroth. But now deliver us out of the hand of our enemies, and we will serve thee. And the Lord sent Jerubbaal and Badan and Jethath and Samuel, and delivered you out of the hand of your enemies on every side, and ye dwelled safely. And when you saw that Nahash, the king of your children of Ammon, came against you, you said unto me, Nay, but a king shall reign over us, and when your Lord your God was your king. Okay? So God was their king, and they're still yelling for a king. Okay. Now therefore, behold the king whom you have chosen, and whom you have desired, and behold, the Lord hath set a king over you. If you will fear the Lord, and serve him, and obey his voice, and not rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall both ye and also the king that reigneth over you continue following the Lord your God. So be obedient to the Lord and respectful. And if you will not obey the voice of the Lord, but rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall the hand of the Lord be against you, as it was against your fathers. Now therefore stand and see the great thing which the Lord will do before your eyes. It is not wheat harvest today. I will call unto the Lord that he will send thunder and rain, that you may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, and that which ye have done in the sight of the Lord, in asking you a king. So God's not pleased with this, okay? So Samuel called upon the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day, and all the people greatly feared the Lord and Samuel. And the people said unto Samuel, Pray for thy servants unto the Lord thy God, that we do not die, for we have added unto our sins in this evil to ask us a king. So now they finally realize. And Samuel said unto the people, Fear not, you have done all of this wickedness, yet turn not aside from following the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. Turn ye not aside, that ye should go after vain things that you can't profit or deliver, for they're vain. And the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it hath pleased the Lord to make you his people. Moreover, as for me, God forbid I should sin against the Lord in ceasing to pray for you, but I will teach you the good and the right way. Only fear the Lord and serve him with truth in all of your heart. Consider how great things he has done for you. But you shall still do wickedly, and you shall be consumed, both ye and your king. So Samuel's prophesizing here what's going to happen. And God still shows his grace and mercy to his people. All right, well, enjoy your hump day today, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.